Right, Kelly, a 911 call reporting those gunshots came in to city police at 4:30 in the morning. Police came to the home but didn't go in. Nearly 2 hours later, fire crews were back at the scene as the home burned. They went inside and found those 3 victims. 3 people died inside this home in the 4300 block of Nicholas Avenue, just off Bel Air Road in northeast Baltimore. A 58-year-old man, his 36-year-old daughter, and her 27-year-old boyfriend. This neighbor said she knew the father best.
Yeah, he was real nice, Mr. Ray. Real nice man. Mind his own business, didn't bother nobody.
She said he recently returned home after enduring cancer surgery. Police said the man had no criminal record, but they say his daughter and the boyfriend did. A neighbor heard gunshots early Tuesday morning. Police responded, knocked on the front and rear doors, then left. Neighbors say they should have done more.
I think they should have just went in. I mean, when you get a gunshot report, I mean, come on now. If they've been shot, how they gonna come answer the door anyway?
Nearly 2 hours later, smoke and flames prompted more 911 calls. This time, fire crews found the 3 victims inside. All 3 had been shot in the head. City police say they are investigating the initial response of their officers.
We're going to look at the call for service. We're going to see, did we do everything that we could have done to make sure, that we investigate that call.
A disturbing day for people in this neighborhood, on top of the fact that for now, the person who shot 3 people, then left them to die in a burning home, is still out there.
It scared me real bad. It scared me real bad to know that them people had been shot. That was the shocking part.
Now, tonight, investigators have determined that an accelerant was used in that fire. Police say the female victim was still alive when fire crews arrived, but she died at the hospital. They're looking at several possible motives. Christian Schaefer, ABC 2 News.
But first tonight, police say 3 people were murdered in northeast Baltimore, and then their house was set on fire. It happened in the 4300 block of Nicholas Avenue in northeast early this morning. ABC 2 News' Brian Kubler joins us now with the latest on a triple murder. Brian?
Kelly, police and fire were out at that scene for a large part of the day trying to piece this crime together, making sense of 3 bodies, each shot in the head, left to die in a burned-out home. A neighbor who didn't want to appear on camera said he heard the gunshots at 4:30 this morning. Police responded, knocked on the door, and checked the perimeter of this home at 4301 Nicholas. They found nothing. It was only after neighbors smelled smoke and the fire department responded an hour later did police know just what happened. It took the better part of the morning to sift through this tragic tale, removing 2 bodies from the home after gathering evidence. Police say it was a father, daughter, and her boyfriend that were killed. The daughter died later at the hospital. All 3 shot and left to die in what a fire chief described as a relatively small fire, nonetheless started by somebody else. Fire officials, too, on the scene, working an arson case alongside homicide detectives, who appeared to be family, showed up late this morning as neighbors watched from their porches. No one wanted to comment, obviously too distraught over the news that still doesn't make any kind of sense. Police have yet to release the names of the victims. Now, both the boyfriend and the daughter have previous criminal records. Police say they are still in the very early stages of their investigation and are working through several motives, including this being a drug-related hit. Brian Kubler, ABC 2 News.
And now to an 11 News update. As 1 year has now passed since a triple murder in Baltimore City, the case remains unsolved, but tonight the family of one of the victims is trying to renew the effort to track down a killer. 11 News reporter Rob Roblin joins us live from northeast Baltimore with more on those efforts. Rob?
Well, when firefighters arrived at this home, the first thing they did was put the fire out. When they went inside, they found 3 victims. At first, they thought the victims died from the fire, but as they found out later, the 3 were shot in the head. Today, police were going door to door in the neighborhood where the crime happened, handing out flyers, trying to get clues in the homicide arson that took 3 lives almost a year ago.
We're pretty much back to square one. Things that we thought we had, information that we thought were legitimate, wound up kind of leading down a dead-end road. So we pretty much, again, are back at square one. So any shred of evidence, any shred of information, please bring it forward.
When firefighters arrived on the scene here at 4301 Nicholas Avenue, after putting out the blaze, they found 3 victims in the home. All 3 had been shot in the head. About 90 minutes before the house was set on fire, police responded to an anonymous call about gunshots fired at the home. Police say they responded, knocked on the door and windows, but found nothing. Family members of the victim said today police should have done more.
Because the police department didn't. It did an awful job, a very awful job.
The police didn't do their job. I'm 100% saying they didn't. Because if the policewoman knocked on the door and she talked to somebody, then how come she can't identify who she talked to? That could play a big part in it. If she just identified who she talked to, then maybe we could have closure with this case.
They did what they were supposed to do. They were called to the residence about an hour prior to the fire for discharging from inside. We had no reason to force our way into the residence. So with that being said, the officers showed up, they checked all doors, they looked through windows, they pretty much did what they were supposed to do. Unfortunately, we were called back later. Once we got inside, that's what was found.
The 3 people who lost their lives here are 58-year-old Billy Ray Lovitt, his daughter 36-year-old Tanyika Gibbs, and her boyfriend 27-year-old Michael Jones. Almost a year later, and police still have no suspects in this crime. Reporting live, Rob Roblin, WBAL-TV 11 News.